It took me tens upon tens of thousands of dollars, 2 decades, and going into debt to realize that things in shopping will absolutely not make you happy. I know this seems simple and this seems straightforward and really obvious, but there is a reason why most of us keep shopping and keep going to debt and keep spending money. There is a block there. And so today, the TikToks we're going to react to all have one thing in common. It's not actually about buying the thing, it's about buying confidence, buying a feeling, or buying identity. And each video basically shows a different angle of the exact same loop, why we keep spending money on useless goods. And I think that this is a really important topic and something that will never end, because as we go further into the hole that is social media and consumerism, it's just getting worse. And it's going to keep getting worse as live shopping becomes more and more prominent, as buy now, pay later becomes more and more popular. And so I want to be really clear. I'm not critiquing the actual person. They might not even be aware of what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're feeling. Maybe they have not done the work to figure this out, because I was them not too long ago. But I think that this is an interesting topic and one that we should discuss. So let's get into it.
Okay, so you know Maria with the Louis Vuitton agendas, because she has like 3 or 4 of them. Well, that's how I met her, was through that video. She fully influenced me. There's like something about it. I feel like I need this thing to organize my life. I've wanted it for a whole month, and I have the best husband in the whole world. He says that for my birthday at the end of September, we should just fly to LA, because there's not a Louis Vuitton in my whole state, and go get me the agenda. So it's mine if I want it. And I'm still hesitating. I'm like, do I really need it? I don't live in a place, and I don't really roll with people who have a lot of stuff like that. I do. I've been building up a collection for the last few years of things, items that make me happy. And I don't know if I would actually feel like almost embarrassed to pull that out at just any given place that I go. I feel like a bit of like embarrassment about that. So, you know, as an energy healer, I'm going to work on that. But what do you think? Do you have one? Do you love it? Is this a silly fear, as most fears and limitations are silly? Just want to know, what do you think? Can you tell me something? Is it totally worth it?
Let's just say, first of all, she says that she doesn't surround herself with a lot of people who probably care about or wear a lot of designer items. If she had not come across this woman, Maria's TikTok video, she would not be desiring right now to purchase a Louis Vuitton agenda, which from what I can see is priced anywhere from $600 to $800 or $900. And this is just the outward. I don't even think you get paper in it. I think you have to buy your own paper and dividers. You are basically getting an external booklet, from what I understand, with the designer logo on it that is leather. And so if you evaluate this video, she says, I just feel like this agenda will make me more productive or organized. I'm not really sure which term she used. This is not about function. This is about identity. From what I gather from this video, and again, I'm not getting on her because I've been through this cycle that she's going through way too many times that I can even count with designer items. And a lot of the times I made the purchase and I bought the item. It never ended up working out okay because I ended up getting bored of it, no matter how expensive it was. Basically what she's doing is that this thing, it's not like this thing is going to magically make her an organized or productive person, because she could easily go onto Amazon or go to Staples or go to a stationery store and purchase a planner, a nice planner for $20 or $30 that will do the same thing, keep her organized. This agenda, which she will inevitably carry around with her. This is also another interesting thing that she says, that she's almost embarrassed to use it around. So it's not actually about functionality. It's about signaling to other people that you are somebody who has your life together and has some sort of achievement. Because anytime I wanted to, I'm going to be really honest in this video, which I always am in other videos, but just how I thought through when I wanted to buy something. She's basically signaling with this agenda, I am successful in some way, so much so that I can afford an $800 agenda. And most people, I would guess, in her community don't even know what the price tag is. They just look at it and say, oh, I know that's expensive, and so she must be doing well in life. And that's basically, no matter what actually is going on internally or inside her household financially, that is basically what she wants to portray to the outside world, which is prompting her to want to spend nearly $1,000 because she's talking about flying to an LV store, not even getting it secondhand. And so basically this $1,000 purchase will be to tell other people something that she wants to say about herself. And the problem with this is that she said that she's been thinking about this agenda for 30 days. And I've been on that train. I know exactly what it's like. You obsess and obsess and obsess. But think about that. This one leather container is what I'll call it, has a hold on your brain space. And also, you have to think about what you're giving up. You're giving up nearly $1,000 that could go towards anything else for this one overpriced agenda that this designer brand understands you will pay for. They know that we're all striving to appear better than how we feel for the most part. And the problem is that, and this is what I went through, is that there is a gap. This is gonna sound so strange, okay? And you can judge me, it's fine, but I'm just gonna be brutally honest here. Growing up, I felt like a lot of the importance was placed on appearance for some reason. Like, people used to tell me that I was cute or pretty when I was younger. I don't know why. I actually don't think that's true at all. My younger pictures were really scary. And then everybody used to talk about my mother, how my mother was always so beautiful. Like, it was never on intelligence or learning something. It was always on appearance. And I always felt like a hideous person. Even up to this day, sometimes I feel like a hideous person. And so I felt this way internally, but I wanted to be a person that felt attractive and felt confident. I always felt like there was an expectation for me to be pretty, but I never felt like I was. And so most of my life was trying to buy items of that ideal person that I am striving to be, if that makes sense. It was, and I've said this in past videos, it was a way to mask my, for lack of a better word, ugliness, to hide from everybody. Like, nobody can see actually the real me. So what I'm going to do is spend a crap ton of money on services and beauty treatments and designer items, because everybody will just see that and think that I, as a whole person, am put together. But actually internally, I am suffering terribly. What these designer brands understand is that it's not just one $160 lipstick, or it's not just one $200 or $300 bag charm, or one $700 agenda, because it doesn't stop there. That's actually when the floodgates open. They know that this is the entry point. And once you have one thing, you start building on top of it and wanting to go even more expensive and more expensive. And then before you know it, you are a loyal customer spending tens of thousands of dollars on their handbags or shoes or whatever it is, because you are now a loyal consumer. Female with the agenda, the woman who inspired her to want to buy this agenda, I think had 3 or 4 of them, which, why do we have that many agenda? What are we doing? What are we doing? The other problem is that with this agenda, or with any of my past shopping habit, my self-esteem became conditional. And her I'm going to just say her self-esteem, whatever it is that she is trying to portray, is conditional on that thing. We are relying on external forces to make us feel good about ourselves. We should be able to do that ourselves, but it is way easier said than done. And I think it's okay. I think that there is a difference. This is not to say we should never buy a designer item if we want one. This is not to say we should never buy nice things if we want them. The point is on dependence of it. And she seemed like she was dependent on it just by her language of obsessing over it for over a month. Obviously, she's talked about it many times, so much so that her husband is willing to fly her somewhere to go buy the thing, even when it is not an expectation in her social circles and could cause some embarrassment. She's still willing to endure that and lose the $1,000 to buy this thing because her ability to feel more put together, more sophisticated, more productive, whatever it is dependent on this luxury item. And so the goal isn't to just stop liking nice things, because I think that's impossible, but the goal is to be neutral about it and not be dependent on it. And so if you find yourself in this spiral loop, and if I ever find myself in this spiral loop again, what we should try to do, and what I wish I had done so many times in the past, is one, ask yourself, have I ever felt this way before about a materialistic thing, whatever it is, designer good? And then ask yourself, if yes, what happened after that purchase? If I just asked myself that simple question, the answer would be nothing. My confidence didn't change, just lightly, maybe for a week or 2 weeks, and then I go back to baseline. So what happened? If I ask myself what happened, it would be like, well, I have the thing, and then I can go look at the thing and not feel the same way I felt about it. I remember when I first started dating my ex, and I always wanted to have really nice designer items. I adored Burberry. Like, the way that she talked about the agenda is the way I talked about the Burberry brand. Even to this day, actually, I don't love logos anymore, but I love the plaid design. It just speaks to me. I don't know why. And so I remember lusting after this bucket Burberry bag, and I couldn't afford it. Hell no. I think I was still in college when I was doing this. I was in college a little late. I think it was like 23 or 24. And so I was dating my ex now early on, and he, for my birthday, purchased me this Burberry bag, and I had been thinking about it for months. And he sent me the Burberry, when you buy something, they send you an email with like this floating envelope, and I was so excited. The dopamine had never been higher. And then I received it, and I went out that night feeling like a different person because of a bag. I felt, this is gonna sound stupid, cheesy, say whatever you wanna say, but it's true. I felt like I looked like I had money and that I was successful in some way. And because of that, people would treat me differently. And that gave me confidence. But I know it sounds so bad. I'm so uncomfortable saying this. I'm so uncomfortable, but it's so true. Because the fact is that when you look a certain way, when you're wearing certain things, people do actually treat you differently. That is a conversation for another video, but that is a thing. And it's so sad, but it's true. And I just remember just feeling like so posh, I don't know, having this bag. But within 2 weeks, that bag was being tossed on my passenger seat car. I was manhandling it, I was throwing stuff in it, and that bag, although I could still look at it and like it, the intensity of love and adoration that I had for that bag started at 100 and went down to like a 15 after 2 weeks. And so I'm saying all this to say, if I had just used that as an example, if I was looking at, because I have purchased many designer bags throughout the years before all of this channel, if I had just taken that one Burberry example and I said, before I purchase any other designer bag, and just asked myself, have I felt this excitement, this dopamine rush, this love for something before? I would have said yes. What happened afterwards? Nothing. Dullness, boring, striving for the next thing. More money out of my bank account because now I want the next best thing. And the other things I would probably ask myself now, if I was her, or if I felt myself being in this position like her again, which I don't think would happen now. with the mindset that I have, but never say never. You never know. I would then ask myself, am I in a comparison spiral? And she is. She definitely is, especially because I briefly checked out the woman that she was referencing, but this woman, she's, I think, over 50, very attractive, travels a decent amount, looks like she has her life together. And I would say that she is in a comparison spiral. And no judgment, because every single purchase I have made, 90% of them have been comparison traps. And then the last thing is like, would you want it so bad if it did not have a logo? If it was just a brown leather agenda with zero Louis Vuitton logo on it, would you still want to pay $800 or $900? And I'm gonna probably say the answer is no. And I know, at least for me, when I purchased a Chanel bag or a Louis Vuitton bag or a Gucci shoes or Gucci bag, whatever it was, if it did not have the designer brand on it, I wouldn't have paid the money. Just no, because I wanted to signal to people that I was in a place in my life that I could afford these things. And so because I am successful, it says something about me, so treat me differently. Even though it wasn't the case, like, it was all a facade. It was all fake. I mean, to a certain extent. Me personally did not have those funds. My partner did, but that's not my money. It wasn't my money. I was living a lifestyle that was given to me, but it was not, I didn't earn it. There was zero hard work involved to afford the lifestyle that I was given. And that is also where the low confidence came in, because I wasn't working hard. I wasn't learning. I wasn't achieving things. And so the way that I relied on confidence was through consumerism. It was long-winded. Let's go on to the next.
Please tell me why making your coffee at home, putting it in a to-go cup and taking it with you is so embarrassing / so depressing. I thought I was doing a good thing for myself at the grocery store this week, prepping my coffee. I'm not gonna spend coffee out this week, and here I am in like this chic outfit, and I have a to-go coffee cup, like a reusable one. I don't know. It's killing the vibe of my outfit. I don't know if that makes sense. Do you guys get what I mean? It's honestly kind of embarrassing.
Okay, she is a prime example of, and I'm this too. Okay, so like, no judgment, it's just observation that we think that people are paying way more attention to us than they are. First of all, I think that coffee cup is really cute, right? I think I'm not the only one, super cute, but nobody is giving a crap about what your coffee cup looks like compared to your outfit. I would guess if she went out in that outfit every day and used that coffee cup every day for 30 days, 0.0 people would judge her for that. And this is a form of self-objection, which I have been a victim of most of my life. And it's basically where you observe yourself from the outside, constantly evaluating how you appear. And it's exhausting because every choice becomes performative. Every choice becomes a decision based on how other people perceive you. And honestly, I have not solved this problem. I constantly worry, and people say, oh, it's self-obsession. It is, but in the worst way, at least for me, because I constantly feel like it varies, right? It goes up and down. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I feel like a hideous person, and I feel like, why are people looking at me when nobody's looking at me? I know this. It's not real. So I can relate to this. She did not say it, but she did not have to say it. The fact that she's embarrassed by carrying around a coffee cup indicates to me that she either surrounds herself in real life and digitally with people who are part of the matcha loving, Pilates attending, workout outfit matching group. So if your baseline engage in life is comparing yourself to other influencers, I think a lot of people watching this will be like, this is crazy, because that's what I thought. But if you look at it from her point of view, the frugality, if that's what she's judging herself against, the frugality of making her own coffee at home and taking it to go doesn't match the image that she sees and that she wants to portray, which makes her feel like a failure. And so what's actually being threatened is her entire identity. This stupid cup is threatening the image that she is carefully crafting and building. And so when she doesn't match her peers, who are fellow lifestyle creators, who might look effortless and elevated, this armor of perfection that most of them portray, it starts to show cracks, right? Even through a stupid to-go cup. It is so easy, like I said before, it is so easy to look at her and judge her. But I think a lot of us do this on some sort of scale. I think that is a little extreme, the whole coffee cup to outfit thing, but it's her life. It's her bubble that she's in. And she is in a full-on comparison trap just with this one video. In the little that she said, you can completely see it. And honestly, my only advice to her, stop following so many creators. And I understand that, you know, if she's a lifestyle creator, creators follow other creators for inspiration, for trends, viral video ideas, but you can still be a lifestyle creator and just follow your own path and take inspiration from things outside of other lifestyle creators. On to the next.
I took myself on a little shopping spree yesterday, and by shopping spree I mean I bought 4 articles of clothing that I had on my list. But I have to tell you, shopping and spending money makes me so happy that it concerns me. Like, that is not good. Like, I love consuming. I really do. I really do. And I'm not proud of it. I'm just making an observation. Like, when I put my card down, I mean, first of all, it hurts me a little bit because I come from a very, like, frugal family. Like, we're a bargain family. We're a Costco family. We shop sales. Like, we don't like to spend money. So I get a little, like, anxiety when I put my card down and I see the number on there. But also I get a rush. Like, my adrenaline hits me. And then I get so excited to go show the clothes off. Like, I bought this new top, which I'm obsessed with, and I just wore it to work. So I don't know. Like, I kind of want to do a little study on spending money on the brain. Because it makes me happy. I can tell you that. I love spending money. And it's not good. I need to fix that. But I'm just letting you know that, like, I know.
I'm just letting you know that I know. Oh, that's good. Good for her. I wonder if the fact that she grew up in a very budget sensitive, frugal type of family, if that has some impact in how she spends money now. Because I know for me, it definitely did. I grew up in a family, I don't want to, like, go into this whole thing. This is for another video. But TLDR is that I grew up in somewhat of a middle-class home, but I knew money was tight without my parents ever, like, really directly telling me, although I still got enough in what I needed, but I always felt like there was an expectation to appear like we had more than we had, and I do not know why that is. It's very strange. I should probably do a whole video on this. I don't know. But I wonder, because I definitely know that the way that my family grew up with money had a direct impact in how I spent money as an adult in a very negative way. And she says that she wants to do a study on the brain, but basically what's happening is the release of dopamine, which is tied to motivation and excitement and anticipation. I hope my lighting, by the way, the sun is going in and out, in and out, in and out, and I am in a very different setup, which is way more comfortable, but I have not figured out the lighting yet. So it might be wonky, this video, I'm sorry. Yeah, and so basically what's happening with her, which happens with a lot of us, and it happened with me every time, is that novelty is a drug. Our brain loves newness. And any new product you buy promises a newer, better version of you. A new start, a mini glow up, a new mini reset, maybe a fitter person if it's workout clothes, or a more productive person if it's an expensive agenda. It's new, and not only is it new, but it's also promising to make you better in some way. It's not promising. You're assuming and you're crafting this image and story in your brain. And what I would have loved to know is that it sounds like this is not her first rodeo shopping, right? Because she has a wish list and she purchased 4 things and she's wearing a shirt. I would have loved to know how she loves those things after. It would have been great if she ended by saying something like, I bought this shirt, I wore it to work, but this is something I'll love for a long time. So at least we know, because there are people that shop a lot, but also wear the items a lot of the things that they buy. But then there are other people, shoppers like me, who would buy the thing and wear it once or twice, and then it would become dull and boring and something that I did not want to wear. Sometimes the thing would even still have tags on it because I would be in a mode in the moment when I'm shopping, I had some sort of a feeling, whether it was excitement, low confidence, anxiety, it didn't matter. Or I had a version of myself that I wanted to portray. I would buy the thing, take it home, look at it a day or two later and be like, not really into it. But I didn't return it. I think a lot of us know that shopping, which is what she did, lowers cortisol for a short while, which means less anxiety, less stress. And then on top of it, your brain is also releasing dopamine. The best course of action for this, when you, or I'll just speak for myself, if I get the need to shop again, which if I haven't said it like 5 times already, I don't know that that's going to happen, but I just don't know. I mean, we all think, I did a video on this, we all think that the way we feel and think right now is permanent and that we will always feel this way and have this mindset. And that's just not the case. So things can change. But right now, if this was me, what I would do is try to redirect that dopamine. First, she has to understand what is actually physically and mentally happening in her body, what that physical sensation is. Because that's all it is. It is a biological reaction to a pretty thing or an attractive thing. It is a mental thing and is a physical sensation, something that you can actually overcome. You have control over it. That thing doesn't have control over it, you do. And so my suggestion to her, if she was coming to me to ask me, I'd be like, try restyling like 5 outfits in your closet. Don't wear them the way that you've always worn them. Try to wear them differently. Or maybe, even better, don't do a capsule wardrobe for like a month or 2. It's really hard when you're a shopper, but try a capsule wardrobe for a week. Test it out, try new things with what you already own. Let that dopamine, excitement, and anticipation dissipate, and then come back to it later and see if you still want to shop. Maybe you do, but this might help lessen that need. Also, try learning something. Try learning something new. If you become more interested in learning something, learning a new hobby, gaining a skill, the less time you have to obsess about spending money and shopping. Things that make you feel proud in the long run and maybe even make you money help you feel just as good as buying that outfit. And this next girl ties right into this. She is basically on the same trajectory as the girl that we just watched.
Is anyone else, like, their shopping addiction is worse than it's probably ever been right now? I cannot stop shopping. Like, clothes, decor, honestly anything. Outside stuff, inside stuff. I have a running list in my head of what I want and need, and then a running list also on my phone. And I don't know, maybe it's just because it's fall and like I want to make everything cozy, but it's really bad. And I went crazy at Marshall's and at Target today. And like, I still have more things that I want to get. Anyone else?
I would say that she's also somebody who is watching likely the home stylist decor influencers. What I would say to her is try rearranging your space, like deep cleaning and rearranging it. It is the beauty. I work in real estate. I do the marketing for real estate brokerage. And I have heard quite a few times of people who are ready to sell. And then all of a sudden, because you have to do a really deep clean of your home and depersonalize everything so that when somebody comes into the home, they can visualize themselves in it. And I've heard so many homeowners go through this process, do the deepest clean, declutter, get it all looking beautiful. And then they're all like, do I want to sell? Because I love this home again. Because it's just refreshing your space. So deep clean it, rearrange it, get rid of some crap, and then you might just love it all over again before having to go to TJ Maxx and Home Goods or anywhere else or Target and buy the thing. I have not been in a Target or a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's or any department store. I haven't been in a mall really in a very long time, but I had to go to Target, which is in a mall, the other day to get something on a whim. I was short on time. And so I walk into Target and I am immediately hit with so much sensation of newness. To my right was all of the clothing, and then in front of me was all of the workout gear, and then right down the hall was all electronics, and then all home goods on the right side with candles and pillows. And there was about a 2-minute time frame where I was so overwhelmed and overjoyed to be in all this stuff. And then I had a moment where it just hit me and I was like, wait, this is just all crap that will mean nothing. And then I just flipped the switch in my head and I was like, oh, all of these companies selling these products, all of these brands are marketing it in some way to get me to spend. They're trying to take my money is basically what they're doing. They're trying to take my money in return for something that they're offering that is probably poor quality or overpriced. And they're not going to win. Like, who's going to win in this situation? I am. I'm going to keep my money. You're not going to take my money. And so I'm saying this because I understand even now being overwhelmed with enjoyment by being surrounded by beautiful and pretty things and all the anticipation and fantasy of what could be either in your wardrobe or in your home. But when you actually step back and look at all of it for what it is, which is usually polyester and plastic and some pretty cheap fabrics. These companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing to get you to feel a certain way, to spark your emotions in some way, to get you to spend your hard-earned money. That is their number one goal. And your number one goal is to keep your money and to save it and not play into it. Do not let them win. That's my message. Don't let them win. If she was in front of me, my suggestion to her would be to do a newness fast for 30 days. And a newness fast is nothing new for 30 days. No purchases for 30 days. You're going to reorganize your house. You're going to reorganize your closet. You're going to figure out what you own. You're going to get rid of everything that you do not like. You're going to deep clean and you're going to try for 30 days because you can't buy anything. You're going to appreciate everything that you love. And then you're also going to go through this list that you have, the running list, which is probably picture frames and pillows and sweaters and fall decor and fall clothing, and look at it and think what identity you're trying to achieve and why you want to achieve it and why you think that thing can help you get there, because it can't. It can't. And so, like I said, what all these videos have in common, it's not about money. It's about a spending problem. And I don't know if these women have spending addictions or shopping addictions, but they do have symptoms of a shopping addiction coming from someone who suffered from it for 20 years. And so all their spending is basically about emotion and identity. That's what it is. We're all chasing a feeling. We're all chasing a new identity, whether it is somebody that is more put together, more successful, more attractive, whatever it is, we're all chasing that through the things that we buy. And so whether it is a fall haul or a clothing haul or a gourmet matcha latte or a Louis Vuitton agenda for nearly $1,000, we're all trying to feel confident, successful, organized, put together, perfect, like you have your life together. And the thing is, like we said, like we talked in this video, is that it always fades. It always fades, especially when you do not feel that way internally. If you do not feel confident, if you do not feel attractive or successful or productive, no thing will fix that. Because when you're buying that thing, it will give you a quick fix. But at some point, your brain will always close that gap. And then you go back to baseline, which is the internal feeling of never feeling enough. And so you constantly chase the next thing to get the feeling, and it never goes away. And before you know it, you're in debt and you're spending and you have tons of stuff that you do not like, that you do not love. And then you find yourself in a financial mess that you have to crawl out of. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Let me know below. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.